everyone. Welcome back to This Old Kitchen. Well, I am back in action. Um, it has been almost 2 months since my operation, and things are going much better than they were. Thankfully, they have solved one of the issues that I have going on. Those of us in our 50s, yay, welcome to us. Um, so I'm doing much better. We've had a lot that's happened in the last 2 months. We are still planning on moving. There's a possibility it could be Tennessee, but likely it'll be Iowa. So we're preparing for that. As you guys know, I love Facebook Marketplace. A lot of what I decorate with and use in my kitchen on a day-to-day is either from Facebook Marketplace or it's from Goodwill because I love going thrifting. So I have been advised to start liquidating stuff, start cleaning stuff out, things that we're not going to take with us, things that we don't need, things that I can replace, no big deal. When I moved from Texas to Washington 12 years ago, I think it's been, I had littles. My youngest was 4, 5, 6. I think Rory was 6 at the time. All the way up to 12, 13, which was my oldest. And I did not do any of that. And we went from this huge 3,000 square foot house with 3 little girls and all the stuff that comes with that. I didn't do any kind of purging. I really should have, because it ended up costing us $25,000 to move from state to state. So I really should have. I learned my lesson. So now that we have 3 horses, 2 dogs, 2 cats, possibly 3 dogs now, chickens, and then all the infrastructure that goes with that, troughs, coops, all that fun stuff, I really do need to get down to purging all that. So that's the update on that. I'm going to start doing that and getting organized. And then the girls have both graduated. They have a car now. They went and my youngest went and bought her own car right out of turning 18, financed all on her own. So I'm really proud of her. They're starting to get their life in order. They are getting ready to move, both the girls. And so it's kind of a transition for myself and my husband, as I've been talking about for the last year. And it's going to be a hard one, but I'm super excited for them. I think it's going to be a great move, and then probably more frustrating for my husband on picking a house, but it's what he signed up for. So health-wise, I had my surgery. It turned out that part of the pain was that I had one organ wrapped around another organ, so they fixed that. Right now, my GI doctor and my cardiologist are arguing back and forth as to the next step to take, because I do need to get myself, try and figure out my hormones and get some weight off and do all that fun stuff. And so we're trying to figure that out. Other than that, life has been pretty relaxing. I haven't really done much in the last 2 months other than recuperate and try to get adjusted. The Colorado heat is here. It's been in the 90s this week. It is supposed to rain all of next week. The flies are out. Anyone who lives on any kind of acreage knows. I think that was the other cat. Yeah. The flies are out, so the fly bags and the fly strips have been put out, and it's just been crazy. All right, so that was just the cat. We've got 4 new chicks. Those are Juliet's chicks, and they are still inside. They have about another week, and then they will go outside with the big hens. Update on the roosters. I have been trying to find a home for them. I can't find a home for them, so we are probably going to be taking them to a refuge who allows them their summer and then processes them. Don't tell my daughter. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. Today we're going to do something fun. So this week I tried my hand at making tomato galettes. They were fantastic. Everybody in the house loved them. I did that, I think, on Wednesday. So today we are having some family over. We're having some friends over to celebrate Father's Day. Tomorrow is Father's Day. My husband will be gone this coming week, and then both of us will leave to Nebraska the week of my birthday, which I'll be 55. Yay. So today we're going to be doing, I'm going to show you how I did the tomato galettes, and then I'm also going to be doing some fruit galettes for dessert. We're going to be smoking a picanha. We're going to be doing some roasted corn. We're going to be, I think my daughter wanted mac and cheese. I think Juliet wanted mac and cheese. Rory wants corn and broccoli. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff today. So it's a busy day. So I just wanted to get on here, tell you I'm back. I missed you guys. I hope that I am going to be pretty regular on this. We'll see how kind of everything falls through. I do have a bunch of stuff obviously coming up. I don't know. I'm rambling. Coffee hasn't hit my veins yet. But let's get started. I hope you guys try this because it is the easiest thing I have ever made in my life. I am cheating. I'm going to use pie crust instead of making my own. I've got my frozen berries here that are defrosting. I'm going to let those sit and drain. And then we're going to do two. We're going to do a berry galette, and then we're going to do a nectarine galette. I've got 3 nectarines that are perfectly ripe. I'm ready to cook them, and they are going to be super yummy. So I hope you guys join along. I hope you guys have done well, and thank you for viewing. Thanks.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do with this galette, which is clearly the easiest thing I have ever made, and I really am winging it. I saw a recipe once and just kind of threw caution to the wind and created it myself. So I definitely will put what I did below, but it's so easy and so creative. Anybody can do it with whatever you can make. Now, I do get big slicer tomatoes. I want to get as much liquid out of them as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and slice them about 1/4 of an inch thick, and then I'm going to salt them and just kind of let the natural juices drip out onto the paper towel through this grate. You can use heirloom tomatoes. You can get as creative and as pretty as you want. I couldn't find any heirloom tomatoes. I would love to have done a green tomato and a yellow tomato, but unfortunately I couldn't find them. It's still a little bit too early for those. So I did get some little yellow cherry tomatoes, get those all sliced up, get them salted. That way they can get that juice out. I'm going to make a mixture for the center of this to kind of put a layer between my crust and my tomatoes so it doesn't get too soggy. If you don't want to put this cheese mix, you don't have to. All I did was take some ricotta, slice up some chives, some garlic, a handful of Parmesan cheese, do a little bit of salt and pepper, and just mix everything together. I'm going to chill that. That way, while my tomatoes are dejuicing, that's going to get chilled. We're going to lay out our pie crust. We are not going to par bake it or pre-bake it. We are going to bake it as is, but I am going to score it to make sure that, again, it doesn't get soggy. So we're going to go ahead and also get some other things chopped up. I thought about doing like a Mediterranean type. So I had some Kalamata olives. I chopped those up. I had some artichoke hearts that I chopped up, and I love shallots, so I will put shallots on everything. So I've got all those chopped up, and then what I'm going to do is start layering. We're going to lay out our pie crust. We're going to score our pie crust. We're going to put our cheese filling just in a very even layer. I don't like doing a lot of cheese. I don't like doing a lot of salt when I cook, especially when it's something that I'm eating. So I tried to just do a very thin layer. You can do this as thick as you want. If you want to do more of a pizza type and not fold the crust over, that's fine. You can do it all different kinds of ways. Just make sure that you are tasting as you're going to make sure that your seasoning is on point. So I put the pie crust down, I put my cheese layer down, and then I start to arrange my ingredients, my tomatoes in a really pretty way. Now I made two different kinds. I made just a basic tomato and cheese, which is for the girls. And then I made the olive, the artichoke, the shallot, and the tomato for myself and my husband. There was nothing left of these galettes. They ate everything. And you'll see later in the Now, once you've layered everything and you've got everything ready to go, you are going to do an egg wash on the outside of your crust. You can also make sure if you have a pie crust cover or some tin foil, if it starts to get a little bit too dark. I just bake this at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. You're really only going to need to cook the crust as well as melt that cheese. Another great idea is if you use Boursin cheese on the inside of that, you can really play with those flavors. Now, what you'll see later on in the video is what I do with the remaining ricotta cheese that I have left, because I don't like to waste anything, but check it out and see.
All right, so I realized that I didn't show you my plantings. I've got everything except my watermelons and my pumpkins in, but everything else has been planted. I direct sowed everything. So I just wanted to kind of show you what I am doing. So we had a hailstorm a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and it pretty much annihilated my little lemon tree. It annihilated my mint, which is right here, and my basil, which is right there. But my petunias are growing. My zinnias are hopefully sprouting soon. Zinnias in there and in there. And then again, I've got my mint, I've got my cilantro, my dill that's starting to come up, my rosemary, and my basil, which is in dire need of trimming because get out of there. Because the storm, the ice, we had about quarter size hail just come in one day, and then a tornado touched down the town over. So thankfully, that was the worst. So I've got in here my lemon tree that I've had forever. It's been a year, and thankfully it survived winter. I replanted it into this big old pot, and those are ready. I've got in here a chartreuse and purple floral mix. I've got my, oh gosh, my peonies in here. It is the Casablanca. Gosh, I can't remember. It's a white peonies. And then in here, I've got some dill. And then out here, I got all the spring stuff out. I got my baskets up. Yes, those are fake flowers. I put fake flowers in these baskets just because A, it's super windy and it's very hard to get up there and water them. So I just put fake flowers in those 3 baskets. I've got everything planted in here. I direct sowed everything. I've got some petunias in that hanging basket. I've got nasturtiums in here. I can't remember what I planted there. Obviously, I planted weeds. And then I got some dahlias and zinnias that are growing in this front bed. My rosemary, there's the rosemary. My rosemary's right there. And then my sage. And then I've got some more, I can't remember. I think I put zinnias there. And then more petunias there. My garden, way over there. I've got everything direct sowed. I put in some carrots. I put in leeks, beets, nasturtiums, marigolds, spinach, cabbage, and I think that's it. And I just realized I've got to get the little chicks out. I also put in on this walkway in front of the doghouse where my tree is at, I put a bunch of perennials in there. Direct sow seed. I've got cosmos, cornflower, sunflowers. I forget what else. And then I also got Elysium. Elysium? Yeah. In that corner. So those will start blooming probably in about 6 weeks. We'll see. It's been so the property's coming along. Now it's just a matter of cleaning out all the stuff that I brought in. Juliet did make a good point. The more stuff I get rid of, the more stuff I get to get. So we'll see. But I'm going to go take the little chicks out. We're going to put them in the cage that we have, and then we're going to put one hen in. I can't put them in there now just because of the rooster issue that we have. I expect the week of my birthday before we leave on our trip, to get the rooster situation resolved, and that way the littles can go out there. They're too young. They need to be out, but they're too young still to start mating or laying eggs. And so I don't want the rooster that we are keeping to, you know, but yeah, let's get them outside. Go on. Come on. Oh, tip me. Come on. Go. 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 Here you go.
Well, it is dessert time, and who loves fresh fruit during the summer? I went ahead and started with the nectarines. I had sliced them earlier in the day when I defrosted the berries and allowed the juice to kind of seep out of the berries. And the nectarines, I tossed them, sliced them up about a quarter of an inch, tossed them in some sugar, stuck them in the refrigerator, and let them sit there. Now, what I would suggest when you're doing your berry galette is start from the outside in your layering. I really had never done this before, so I wasn't sure exactly how to do it. It seemed like it'd be easier if you start on the outside and work your way in. That way, you're not moving around pieces of nectarine or fruit and kind of not making it as pretty as it could be. So you go ahead and layer the nectarines. I put a few pats of butter on there to give that savory taste, and then sprinkled some brown sugar, folded that over, put my egg wash on there, and then sprinkled with a little white sugar on the outside just to give it that extra kick. With the berry galette, I had some leftover raspberry jam that I had made earlier in the week. Mixed that in with the leftover ricotta and made kind of a base for that to give it a sweet and savory, balancing out all the sweetness from those berries. Go ahead and put that layer down. Get your berries on top. Again, fold that over. Put your egg wash. I only cooked these galettes at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Again, same as the vegetable galette. You're really looking just to melt that cheese and to get that crust browned. And top it with some ice cream. Make it fun. It's just an amazing dessert. I hope you guys try this. I hope you enjoyed this video, all of the craziness of my rambling and everything. But I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy my craziness, and look forward to seeing what's to come. Have a wonderful day, friends.